Aries, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid to late October 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Aries collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide spirit team, talk to me. What do you got for us? What do you have for the Rams in mid to late October? It's the beautiful season, one of my favorite seasons. But yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot. So let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Aries gang in mid to late October, please. Let's get this card out nice and quick for my good friends. There we go. Ask and you shall receive. So we have one of our power cards showing up here front and center, which I do really, really like. Now, I'm not sure if you can tell by the visual there, but this is actually a mirror card to the Fool. And I'm not using a tarot deck. It is an oracle. But if you look real close down there on the bottom, there's different renditions of the Fool card, which is an Aries card. So this is an energy that we could definitely flow with. So before we fully dive into it, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the October subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this. So aside from this being a card that represents the Aries collective, I mean, there could be a big self-focus for a lot of Aries. So whether it's wellness, whether it's health, whether it's mental, it's like, all right, I'm turning myself inward, which could be a really good thing. It's a very confident card when it's in the Aries readings. But what do we think about with the Fool? New, fresh, new journeys. It's a big action card. Usually I like it. It's lighthearted. It's jovial. So, I mean, you might be a little more jokey than you normally are. But there is a downside to this energy. When the Fool card comes out, it could be a little impulsive, right? And a lot of my fellow Aries out there know that we could get the reputation sometimes with acting or thinking afterwards. So it's like we do something, then we consider it. So watch out for any of that type of energy, because you might be a little more impulsive than you normally are, which is saying a lot. So aside from that, it could be like really good energy coming in, which lines up with what I saw last week. So just think before you act. That's the only thing I would say when this card is out. Aside from that, we might be looking pretty darn good. But let's put that Fool down right there and let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Aries gang. What do we have in mid to late October? And yeah, while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So as I already mentioned, it was pretty positive. The reading was titled The Massive Blessing. And I always say blessings, just like winds, come in all different shapes and sizes. So whether it's a monetary blessing, a personal relationship thing, health and wellness, I don't know why that keeps coming up. But it looked like there was something really good coming your way, especially if it was something you were manifesting in. So that energy could bleed over for a couple of weeks, but we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Aries here. What do we have in mid to late October? Okay, 4 swords. Total opposite to this Fool card, and that's okay. I like it. It's restful. I mean, I usually like an action card in the first position, and yes, that is my Aries talking. So we'll see what's up with it. It could be good. It could be very spiritual. Doesn't seem to be doing much. Let's get a couple more here. What do we got? 2 swords, a little bit of mystery. Lots of sword energy, which isn't bad in an Aries reading. We could flow with this energy. We could vibe with it. Let's get one more, and I'll talk more on that, the elemental mixture. But we do have that little bit of mystery. Like there could be something where spirits like, all right, restrain or refrain from it. But we'll see what's up. Okay, yeah, still really great energy. These cards came out together, so there will be a bonus. But we have the 10 of Cups right here on the back end. That could be a lot of things. I do like it. And then we have the Lovers right here as your bonus. So it's intriguing how this energy seems to be stacking up. I'm going to try to stay neutral about it so far, but let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, tons of air energy here. And you know, I always like to look at the elements. It tells us how the energy moves, the areas of life that could be highlighted in this time. So we got the 4 of Swords, the 2 of Swords, the Lovers, All three of those cards are air, and that represents the mind, the logic, planning, strategy. Sometimes, in the rougher sense, a lot of air energy could be overthinking, so watch out for that. Um, but yeah, there's just this really strong cerebral vibe, and it can be super strategic. So we still have this energy where it's like, all right, well, think before you do something. There could be something that spirit wants you to plan out with all this air. And then we have cups right here. Nice emotions. It's creativity. It could represent partnerships, relationships, both of these cards right here on the back end. But usually I like water. It's just flowy. But the one thing that all these cards share in common, they're internal energies, right? Because fire cards, that represents outworld action. When we get earth, that's the world we live in. This is all the world inside us, so watch out for internal intensity. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, the Four of Swords. Now, as you saw, I was feeling pretty neutral when that card popped out. I wasn't super thrilled about it. I wasn't upset about it. And I'm sure you could see why. We have that little individual. It looks like they're just laying there meditating, praying, just chilling out. Now, this can be very good. This could represent a time of healing, a time of recuperation. If you're feeling tired, zapped, don't do anything too strenuous when this card comes out. Spirit might want you to slow down with something or pace yourself. So, again, more of that classic Aries advice that we give from time to time. This card is super spiritual. So, again, it's like going within, it's meditating, it's exploring the inner world and the inner voice. So, it's great for that kind of stuff. But there's a downside to the Four of Swords as well. Sometimes it could represent some sticky situations. It could represent something that might feel stuck or something that's not getting a lot of progress. So we do want to see, is this a problem? Is it a situation? Is it a roadblock? Or is it just a hush-hush quiet time? We'll see. Now, moving to the middle, and yeah, there is this energy where Spirit's like, just pace yourself. Don't run off into the unknown. If you're unsure about something, take a breath. Now, moving to the middle, we got the Two of Swords. Classically, this is a card that could represent indecision. It's a card that could represent a little bit of confusion, but to me, it's one of my biggest cards of mystery. It's right up there with the moon. And we see this individual, they're on the beach, they're hoodwinked, blindfolded, they're out, it's nighttime, there's an actual moon in this card too. So sure, it could represent something unknown, secret. It could be a very secretive energy, unexpected, surprising. So we do need to clarify it and see what it's about. For a small portion of you, if you're in a decision-making mode, this one's like, I'm not sure what to do here. I'm not sure which way to go. Which path should I take, left or right? Which, again, isn't always a bad thing. But I know sometimes with Aries energy, if we get too frustrated with a decision or a choice, we're just like, screw it, I'm doing this. I think if that speaks to your situation, Spirit's like, slow it down. Like there could be something that's still to be revealed when I see this. So again, it does tie in with this Four of Swords where, yeah, maybe there is a little bit of a stickiness in the energy, but it's not, I'm not feeling treachery from it. Now, moving to the back end, we have the Ten of Cups, one of the best cards in the whole entire deck. So there could be something where it seems like not much is really changing. Not much is happening, but the end result could be really good. This is a card of wins, victories, wish fulfillment. Again, one of the best cards. Other things that the Ten of Cups can represent: home, family, living situations, property, stuff like that. But when we see this, we think of emotional fulfillment. Our cups are full. We're feeling good. Now, the downside, because remember, every card has a downside. There could be difficulties in some of those areas I was already discussing: family, living situations, when the Ten of Cups is in reverse, that could be someone that has some hard feelings that they're dealing with. So watch out for emotional swings, emotional ups and downs when this card is here. But it really depends on your story and what comes out when we clarify. Now, as we get over to the Lovers, it's a card that represents Gemini. So if you're not connected to Gemini, if you don't have Gemini placements, this is obviously a card that can represent soul ties, soul connections, people that are very important in our life. So whether it is a literal lover, romantic partner, it could even be a friend, it could even be a family member, just someone where there's this really close bond. If we're not talking about that, if let's say you're not watching this for relationships whatsoever, you're good in that area. The Lovers has the Archangel Raphael, extremely healing, super smooth, silky, easy flowing type of energy. So there is this really good uptick on the back end that I really, really like. But I want to dive deeper on all of it, Aries. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot. because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Four of Swords. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why Box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Aries, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, let's get that Four of Swords going, please. Why is it here? Why? Oh, there we go. Thank you. Cool. All right, so there could be something. This is an energy that I feel is moving towards you, if that makes sense. Where, again, us Aries, we are very much action oriented individuals where it's like, all right, we want to take the ball and run. We want to do something. We like, if we want a result, we want to work for it. When I see the Four of Swords and the Page of Cups, it's like, nah, this energy is coming to you. So again, whether it's a conversation, whether it's an individual, the Page of Cups is extremely conversational. So there could be something here around messages or talks. We'll just have to see how it goes. But I'm still getting this vibe from Spirit where it's like, Aries, just slow it down. There's no rush. Like, there's something about pacing yourself here. So take that for what it's worth. Again, I know a lot of Aries are going through a lot of different things. But then again, I still get this somewhat magnetic energy here where it's like you're pulling something to you. It's like, don't chase it, let it come to you. So take that, do with it what you will. We're just going to keep moving. I feel like it's very, very simple, straightforward. And yeah, this page is a big chatterbox too. So again, I'm not saying this is Spirit saying, hey, Aries, be quiet, don't say anything. And for some of you, maybe. Let's keep moving. Let's see what's up with the Two of Swords. Not bad, but I really want to see what these two have to say. It could be very important. So why is the Two of Swords here? Please. Someone, something coming towards you. Thank you. And another page. Okay. This is something I saw a few weeks ago, and it's still here. There's a lot of observation here. Now, this message splits in a couple different ways. This page carries a very similar energy to the page right next to it, but the Page of Swords is very defensive. It's a little restrained. It's holding back. It's pulling back. Now, for some of you, sure, maybe there is someone or something that you're observing or watching. Maybe someone's watching you, right? You might be under someone's microscope. But aside from that, this is like somebody testing the water, where it's like, all right, I'm going to dip my toe here and see what the response is. So don't be surprised if there's any people around you that are acting in that kind of way. Or this could be advice from Spirit, where it's like, just be cautious, Aries, move slow. You test the waters out. That's how it's coming through to me. There is a lot of chatter coming in, though, because again, when I have a mystery card with the Page of Swords, this could be a conversation coming in or a message that you were not expecting to have. So whether an unexpected message, surprising message, you might receive several, especially like with these double pages. So now might be a very intriguing time for conversation. So again, we're just going to keep moving forward. Lots of stuff here. But at the same time, I'm getting that vibe where it's like the energy is coming to you. Like, here it comes, here they come. Like, the energy is magnetically pulling towards you. Let's go in on the Ten of Cups. And again, if you're here for work things, this could be good. I mean, Spirit might just be asking you to be a little patient. But let's see why the Ten of Cups is here. Why is it in the mix for my Aries, please? And we'll do our recap before we get into the shadow. Thank you. Okay, King of Swords in reverse. I don't know why there's just so many people showing up. Like when we have the Lovers, now Pages, now we have the King of Swords in reverse. Now is the time to be spontaneous. So it's like we're getting mixed messages. So don't be surprised if there's someone around you or a situation you're dealing with that's also giving you mixed signals, mixed messages. Because the King of Swords in reverse is extremely spontaneous. So this could be a couple of different things where Spirit's like, well, right now might not be the time for action or spontaneity, but the time will come. You'll know deep down in your gut. I think for a lot of Aries, it's super important to follow that intuition. Aries has a very good intuition on them. So you don't always have to structure and plan out every little thing. For those of you that are feeling confined, there could be something about a schedule or restraints that are like really bugging you a little bit. King of Swords in reverse, though, underneath the Ten of Cups, feeds in to like this kind of unplanned, unexpected type of vibe where there could be a result coming in that's way better than you possibly think. So I'm leaning optimistic about this whole entire spread. Him in reverse, it's like, all right, I didn't plan for this, but I like it, which is really, really nice. So again, we got the talks, we got the wins, we got the victories, and it all seems to be bubbling up and coming your way. And same goes if you're a cross watcher. If you're watching this for Aries, maybe all that advice I was giving is what Spirit's telling you, right? Like, hey, maybe you just take a minute, take a breath. But I love the outcome. It's really nice. Let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. If you kindly look in the box, position number one, we're starting with the Four of Swords and the Page of Cups. Now, as I mentioned here, to me, that's an energy moving your way. It does feel really good, and it's also Spirit saying, like, hey, slow it down, don't rush something. We still have this trepidatious, cautious energy when we get to the center, because we have the Two of Swords with the Page of Swords. So there is observation going on, whether you're observing something or someone's observing you. There's a big caution, and it's like somebody testing the water. So whether Spirit's like, yeah, just dip your toe in, don't dive all the way in. There could be something where it's like, take your time, pace yourself. And again, this could be a surprising message or a talk. We got multiple ones that could be coming in. Moving to the back end, we have the Ten of Cups with the King of Swords in reverse. There's a whole ton of people showing up in this energy, which makes sense when I was picking up that magnetism. That's why I was like, yeah, here they come, here it comes. But there is a time to be less restrained. Your intuition will tell you when it's time to make a move or take an action. There could also be an unexpected win. So I like the mystery in this sense. There's a lot of times when I pick up mystery in a spread, and I'm not a big fan, like the unknowns and stuff like that. But actually, I like it this week. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end here, which means I just tell you what might be in the shadows or what you might not be seeing. And yeah, every shadow card doesn't always have to be a bad thing. So let's get you one. And if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this card out here. What do we got for Aries gang? Thank you. Okay. Yeah, Ten of Cups. So I love when I get a shadow card that reinforces things that I see within the reading itself. Because remember, I was saying with the King of Swords in reverse, that's kind of unplanned. And now, even in the shadows, which could represent something you don't quite see, it's not on your radar, we get the Ten of Cups once again. So if there is something where it seems like you're not getting much progress, things don't seem to be happening, or things get very, very quiet, it's like the calm before the storm. That's how this feels to me. Now, there is a warning with the shadow side of this card. Sometimes the Ten of Cups could be a little overindulgent with any pleasure of the flesh. I'm a big proponent of enjoying yourself and having a good time, but Spirit might be saying, all right, have fun. Not too much fun, right? Like, just don't cross a line. So we still have this restraint showing up. But I just love the Ten of Cups here. It's one of my favorite cards in general, and especially as a shadow card. Aside from that warning, there could be something really, really great coming in that you don't quite see just yet. So we're going to put that Ten of Cups down right there, my beautiful friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the October subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation and book a personal reading with me, you could check out my digital calendar on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The October schedule is up there and it's filling up quick. So if you want to have a little chat, go over there and check it out. But for the October subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of the most stunning decks I've ever experienced, the Star Tarot. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments. Since last month, I asked everybody which zodiac sign they get along best with. This month, out of all the zodiac signs, which one do you clash with a little bit there? Drop it down in the comments. You'll be entered to win. And the winners will be announced in the community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.